Hello, everyone! Welcome to a special episode of the Fins Bandwagon. I'm your host, special Twitter name tonight, Grier supporter, with my famous co-host and the future birthday boy tomorrow, Fish Tank Hank. And because it's such an important night, after what the Dolphins did today, we got the founder of the network, my buddy, my brother, Bobby, and the Mr. Analysis of Power Analysis, as we always like to call him. Big joke, Justin. JPF Scout Justin from Digging in the Trenches. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing damn good. We're doing good.
What are we partying?
I'll tell you what, I'm one big party because tomorrow's my birthday and my wife got me some
And look what Grier got you for your birthday.
Yeah.
Look
I
what
know.
Grier got you for your birthday.
I got a Chubb for my birthday.
You got a Chubb for your birthday.
Come on, you can't get any better than that.
Look at this.
Absolutely.
So, guys, thank everybody for joining us. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe as you're entering the show. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. It wasn't a party just with me and Hank. We had to bring all the great people of the Fins Talk Network onto the show today to have some fun, talk about the last game, and then also talk about how all the trades that were made today, how deadline day, how the Dolphins are the talk of the town, how everyone is now jumping on that bandwagon, and let's just have a good time. But because
thanks
everyone
for the happy birthday wishes, everybody.
We're going to sing you happy birthday after. I'm going to sing to you in English, French, Hebrew, and Yiddish. Then Bobby is going to speak in a language, and Justin will make up a language to speak.
Justin, just sign me, bro.
Just sign you, eh? Okay, let's have some fun. Because we had the post-game show, and we've had a chance to talk since Sunday, and you haven't had a chance to express how you're feeling, Fish Tank Hank, talk about your experiences on Sunday, and then let's veer into trade deadline, what your expectations were, and the results of trade deadline day, and then we'll do the roundtable.
What's up, Cap? Thank you again.
Cap.
No, we won a hard game, and everything I said with Bobby came true. The tight end is what blew up Miami from the Lions.
Hawkinson.
Miami came back and held, though. Miami could score points. That's the whole thing with Miami now. They could score points. They've proven it in 2 games. They could score points. The question is, are they set up to now score points with Wilson coming in, So that's going to be a big question for me. But the running game wasn't great, of course, but how'd Tua do? Tua was all over, man. Come on. You couldn't ask for more than that, could you? What do you think, fellas?
Bobby did ever stop smiling. Bobby, give your feedback. How'd you feel? You recap your Sunday feelings. How do you feel 2 days later?
Yeah, how do you feel 2 days later?
I feel damn good. Hey, like I said to you, I have in regard to Tua's performance, if we're talking that on Sunday, it was his best game of the season for him for sure. Evan, you have stated that it's the best game of his career. Yes, I know that everybody will point to the Baltimore game, but we could all say that fourth quarter with Baltimore lane. But this game right here, from start to finish, I don't care if it was the 32nd ranked defense. You're supposed to do that against the 32nd ranked defense, and he did. Great passes on point. Tyreek, Jalen Waddle hitting those numbers. It was great to see, and it's good for fans to be excited going 5-3, and then especially now with the trade deadline. Go ahead, Fish Tank.
That's the other thing I'm excited about. That dynamic duo that we have.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. They're blowing it out of the water.
Yeah, they're amazing.
They actually look, and statistically, on their pace, are doing better than Duper and Clayton ever did. I've never seen anything like it. These guys are going to get around 3,500 yards together.
I just want to say they played like we thought they would be playing when they made that move for Tyreek.
Yeah.
That's how they played. The running game was on point. Raheem Mostert, the 2 weeks in, it was all hitting on all cylinders. So
the only difference the only difference which you, Hank, myself all thought, which was the most amazing part, is we thought that Tyreek would be an MVP because of how he would allow, because he was getting double covered, how other people like Wilson, Gesicki, and especially Waddle would get open. We didn't realize, and I saw it at training camp, I've never seen a guy get so much space and I've never seen it before. This for him is a show me season, because for him, he had a little bit of time with Alex Smith. But what he's doing with Tua, what he did with Skyler, and what he did with Teddy, what this guy is doing and how he is making everything around him better, he is the definition of an MVP. He's the definition of MVP. The definition of an MVP. Yes, playoff. Did you hear what Steve Malloy said? I almost fell. I literally fell off the couch on Real Talk. On Real Talk Fin Talk. On Real Talk Fin Talk, Steve Malloy went out on a limb before I even had a chance to get on here and already predicted the Super Bowl. Okay, wow. I don't know what he was smoking, but I'm proud of Steve Malloy tonight. Oh, he's on the bandwagon.
Love it.
But hey, you know what? He read my tweet from earlier. That's where he got that from.
Yeah. Before we get into the trade deadline, because I want to give Justin his due, because he's really been, him and I have been chatting the last couple of days. He's been sharing stuff with Rob. He's really, really into this. His predictions really did come true. I just want to make one important point, and then I'm going to let him have the floor for a little bit, is the fact that the win and the way that the offense played, the defense, whatever, had we not won that game and had Tua not played the way that he did, the trades today were not happening. What happened? And they would have been, if they would have somehow lost that game, or and we wouldn't have come close. What they learned on Sunday was that Tua is a quarterback you can win with. And I don't want to hear anybody else comparing him to anybody else, because someone made a point before, Rob made a point. Stop comparing him to other quarterbacks, because you know what he is? He's his own quarterback. And the one thing that Hank and I have been talking about for months, and that what Bobby was looking for was consistency. We've been saying how he's a winner. And that's what winners do. Winners, in the tough moments, know how to win with great players. He did it at Alabama when he had a super elite talent around him. He's doing it now with Hill and Waddle, and he's doing it with Mostert. And what he's going to do with Wilson, who's averaging, I'll let the JPS go. I'm not going to steal any of your stats.
Oh, you're good.
I'll let you go through the stats. But let's just say this: Tua is the reason why this happened today. If Tua was 5-0 in the games he's played, and then he start to finish. If Tua did not do what he did on Sunday, these trades would not happen. Tua is the reason why this happened, because he's shown to the team, he's shown to the league, who won't get over the fact that he has the top QBR. He's top 3 in everything. The only place he's not topped is in yards, because he was out for 3.5 games. The guy has proven that if you give him the talent around him, he is going to make them better. The floor is yours, Justin. Go for it.
Man. Just imagine if he was didn't miss those games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and we had all those games to play. We'd probably have a better record on, I would imagine. But thank you
so much. Go over the trade. Tell us what you think of that
Thirsty and Steve, I appreciate you guys. Bobby, Hank, Evan for having me on. I tried to do as good as I can guessing them. Sometimes you get lucky. Honestly, it's just a matter of luck. It's not a matter really of a skill thing, but those are the players I feel fit to help us make a run deeper into the playoffs and hopefully where we all want to go. We all know where we want to go, right? We all want to win a Super Bowl. We all want to win a ring. I think this takes us a lot further to that step of getting there. There's one thing you want to bring, man. You want to bring that running game. I think Jeff Wilson's going to supply that. He's averaging 5.1 yards a carry right now. So when you give this guy the ball, he's going to get you some yards. Look at the Patriots, man. They made 7 Super Bowls off of averaging 4 yards a carry, 4 yards a carry. And even if it was even a throw, 4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards. man, you can make something out of that. Sometimes it's just not pretty, but this is the team that can make it pretty, man. We got Waddle, we got Hill, we got the Houston Rocket, we got the Cheetah, we got Mike Gesicki snatching high balls over the middle in the red zone. We got Mostert back there running some track star out of the backfield, man, getting hot. Now this offensive line starting to gel
There
together.
you go.
And, then you jump on top of it with some Jeff Wilson and some Chubb. All you're gonna see is some sack city boy,
Yeah.
sack city boy. I mean, you're gonna see them running around. I've been watching a lot of tape, and I see Jalen Phillips. I'm so excited, you guys. I'm like, out of my mind right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be honest with you, I've been watching a lot of tape, and Jalen Phillips is literally like a hand step away, a second away from getting fit. He could have 15 sacks up on the season. Well, those are stats that are going to start coming true now, because if he ain't there to clean up, Chubb's going to be the clean up. Chubb ain't going to clean up. Ingram going to clean up. Who knows, man? You might see them all on the field at the same time and just.
You're gonna have all of those people on the field at the same time.
Yeah.
Sealer, Wilkins, Raekwon Davis,
I know.
Ingram,
That's gonna
Chubb.
You're only gonna have to rush 4.
Phillips.
Yep. There you go.
Block
You just-
that.
They're only going to have to rush
Have
4.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you
They're
can
only
say
going to have to rush 4, and
Yep.
I want you, Justin, to explain it a little bit more. But can
I
you
will.
explain it more to the people who are
I
watching?
didn't mean to break in. I started getting
No,
excited.
You're getting excited, but I want Justin. The reason I want you to explain it because for the people who are not football aficionados, specifically on the defensive scheme, but the one thing I noticed the last few games, especially and we'll talk about the secondary later. The secondary felt so much pressure because of the zero blitz, because of how much they were pass rushing, and they couldn't get to the quarterback. The amount they had no support, and you're doing it with these young guys, these undrafted guys. So talk about the benefits of having Bradley Chubb and what he's going to do for the secondary.
Oh, you guys, like it's like a matter of like night and day now. Like in our game, I think we'll see it from game 1. I hope. I mean, if he's active and playing, Chubb should bring that kind of pass rush for you. And what it comes down to is the front end of the defense is that much better and getting to the quarterback that much quicker, which makes the back end of the defense not have to play that hard. Like you just said, Evan, we're only going to be able to send maybe 4 guys. Hell, they might even be able to do it with 3. And, they do 4 or 3 guys, and then that's an organic pass rush without having to make it come with a scheme, like having an add-on or showing you a cover 0 look or any of that crap. Right now you'll be able to bring just 4 organic guys up front, hopefully get home. Then you'll be able to play a lot more coverage on the back end of that stuff. That means a lot of the stuff that you're getting beat on across like the middle, the crossing routes, the underneath stuff, the vertical stuff, that stuff gets taken away. Now, you know what really hit my mind as soon as this stuff happened, like all that's starting to go down, I'm like, oh my God, it's snowball effect. I bet you Byron Jones somehow, some way gets healthy real quick,
fast.
buddy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we could come out and really play the defense I want to play, which was a press cover 1 and be like, I could put 4 guys up there and be like, go eat. Jalen Phillips on one end. I could put Chubb on the other side, right? And then you can put Wilkins in the middle. Then you can make that last spot like interchangeable with like say Agba, or even switch in like a Melvin Ingram. Like, do you understand what we're gonna be able to do, you guys? Like you'll have Chubb, so you'll be able to like, hey, I could put him down with his hand in the ground, or I could stand Jalen up and put him right next to him, or put his hand in the ground. Like you can do so many things now. The dimensions of the mix and match is gonna be so great. It's like having a checkered piece, but you have the red one, or like your king or queen on a chessboard, and you can move it around. Now you can take Jalen and move him around, and you can take Bradley and move him around. It's going to be so dynamic. We're going to have the best defense in the league after this is all said and done. Let's just hope it all goes where we want it to go, and the defense dominates and gets the ball back for that high-powered offense. I think you'll see more points put up as well with Jeff Wilson. Oh, man, those hard yards that you need. And now you won't kill Mostert. Oh, God, I'm so happy right now. I'm just so happy right now, man. I can't get over how we're doing this. Chris Grier deserves his flowers, like Evan was saying. The man has been bad-mouthed. I've even bad-mouthed him a couple of times. But you know what, man? I think the Dolphins are going all in. I'm all in. Let's do this, man. Super Bowl or bust. Let's go. Let's go.
You're so good. Hank, to add to that, so what are your thoughts on the defense now? Because I'm sure you watched, as well, all of us watched on Sunday, that first half. There was adjustment made in the second half, but it was like string cheese. So I know you had some stuff to say on Twitter,
Sure was.
but like, what are your thoughts on having Chubb back there? Just what he'll do to change the dynamic of that defense? Less pressure on Holland, less pressure on Howard.
Just the secondary alone, just coming in and the secondary is going to have plenty of time. Trust me, they're gonna have to play up close and play man and stop where they're dinking and dunking the ball on us to the running backs out of the backfield is what's going to happen. That crap's going to stop real fast. Trust me. You got somebody like Chubb there, and you got Ingram or Phillips, Agba, Wilkins, Davis, Sealer.
Thank you.
I mean, it just goes on and on and on. You have that's your line. That's your defensive line and a couple linebackers.
And you have them signed because because it's the end of his contract, the end of this year. There's no way that Grier's bringing him here without signing him. So it's just
crazy.
Look at what your front's going to be. I know he has to worry about some other signings like Wilkins, and he'll have to worry about a few other people. But we know that Jones may not be there next year. Gesicki won't be there next year. So you know that you're going to have room for Chubb. But to be able to have him on a high contract and have Phillips on the other side, it's going to be mad.
It's going to be
but
so
the
cool.
nice part is that you're not going to have Gesicki's. Like you said, you won't be paying Gesicki. Gesicki will be going away because they're going to want a better tight end anyway for their scheme. So that's why I think they just hung on to him and they're going to let him go.
Yeah, since Bobby is so distracted and he's doing what he always never says he's going to do when he's on a show and talk to other people, Bobby, I don't know if you had a chance to see this. The greatest reaction I saw and the best tweet of the day was Tyreek Hill. Am I reading this right? You're talking about a guy who is the best wide receiver in the league right now, and even he can get shocked, and even he can get super excited. He was on Twitch, and he was playing a video game when he found out, and he literally went nuts. So the fact that he's drinking the Kool-Aid, he's thirsty for Dolphins. What are your thoughts on the overall trade deadline day? You and I talked a little bit before, but give us your overall feelings on Jeff Wilson and Bradley Chubb and your overall, because of all the four people on this show, you've been the more realistic one. You've been the more level-headed one. So now the trade deadline day is happening.
Hank's favorite words, realistic.
Man,
because
he knows it.
There were 12 trades.
He knows it.
This is
There were 12
supposed to be a
trades.
positive show.
It is. No, but he's going to be positive now. I said he's the more level-headed one. Because there were 12 trades today, and we represented a lot of the transactions of 3. I want to give you a perspective.
Yep.
Let's think about this. We traded Laramie Tunsil. Then we made the deal with Trey Lance, and we converted that deal with Trey Lance with San Francisco into Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and Bradley Chubb. Now, I don't care how many general managers, what they've done wrong. Now, Bobby, look at those 3 players, and those are elite players on all 3 sides of the ball.
Absolutely.
On all sides of the ball. Now, tell me, how excited are you right now, more than compared to where you were on Sunday? And what is your perspective moving forward after trade deadline day, where the Dolphins were the number 1 story of the day?
Well, we needed a pass rush, and we got it, and an elite talent like Bradley Chubb. That's a win, right? We signed Chase Edmonds in the offseason, thought he was going to be this pass-catching running back, thought he was going to be maybe number 1 running back. He ended up dropping a lot of balls and being a disappointment. Raheem Mostert's been really coming along. We're getting excited about that. But then you're starting to get a little bit worried about him because he's had injury concerns in the past. So you start going, man, they need to make a move at back. We're talking Kareem Hunt. We've talked Jeff Wilson and Justin. We've talked about Nigel Hines. We were talking about Antonio Gibson, different players. And so what does Miami do? They go out and get a player who's not only I don't want, when I say equivalent, I'm not saying the same level because I think Wilson's a little above that. But what I mean by equivalent, I mean the same type of player, a pass catching back out of the backfield, but who knows the system, who's familiar with McDaniel. So you're getting yourself a 1-2 punch, but not the thumper. And that's something that was, when me and Justin talked, or me and Hank just talked about it on Saturday, we were talking about that I would want to see a thumper with Raheem Mostert, who's a speed back. That doesn't really look like it doesn't fit McDaniel's scheme. McDaniel likes that speedster and that pass catching back, and that's exactly what they did. So I like that move because it balances out the loss of Edmonds, who really wasn't a loss, and God bless him. Good luck to you at wherever. He's going
to be the third back. He's going to be the third back.
Yeah. He's going to be the third back. So it is what it is. But now you get Jeff Wilson, who's obviously going to be a piece in this offense. The big move, though, is Bradley Chubb for the defense. This defense started off, even though it was the defense that helped win some games, it wasn't the defense that we thought it was going to be at the start of the season, but it started to pick up. started to show some flashes, some life. Jalen Phillips is starting to come into it. The defensive secondary is like skin and bones right now. There's no meat on that secondary right now. It's only Xavier Howard and everybody else. It's basically the replacement for Keanu Reeves, So, but they showed some life. They're starting to go, Igbo gets an interception, a game-winning interception. Kohu is coming out of nowhere, So how do you help that young secondary that could get taken advantage of on a game? How do you help them? You help the pass rush. You add to the pass rush. Now,
you get a Chubb.
You get a Chubby or a Chubb.
Want to hear a crazy stat? He is I think it was 29%. I don't know what the relationship was, but we're in 29th in pressures, but he's third with 29% of getting to the quarterback. Like the number completely. The guy is just. And by the way, Jerome Baker better give up number 55 to this guy because you want to know what? He's the better 55.
So obviously he is. So look, it's a big move. I know they're working on its contract. This is going to help not just the front seven. This is going to help the secondary. It's going to help the linebackers. This move helps the defense. And it is a reactive move. It's a reactive type of move. You needed to. You got a player. It wasn't the guy you thought he was going to be. You had to move him out. But with this type and going after this player. Bradley Chubb, it's a reactive move. It's not an offensive lineman, which we know that's a necessary part. Maybe they do the Justin move and they go look for parts somewhere else. They go to poach some players. That's wait and see. But what this move says to me for Miami, what it says, I know before, I think Steve said it, and forgive me if it was Dolphins 30, but I think it was Steve. But it was like, this means that they believe in Tua. I think it's bigger than that. I know everybody wants to talk about Tua. It's so big, and as my co-host of going on 2 years, Fish Tank would say, it starts and ends with the quarterback. I think this is that the Dolphins front office and maybe even ownership believe in this football team. Absolutely. They believe in Tyreek Hill. It's not, and I'm not saying anything against Tua. It's bigger than Tua. It's believing in this football team. Yes, we're 5-3. Yes, we're not the number one seed or the number one team or whatever the hell you want to call it. But the talent is there. Okay. This guy is on both players, Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, on record pace. The Zoo Crew, as Fish Tank would call it, are on record pace to do it. And you could have any kind of things. I think Kurt Warner said it. He doesn't have the strongest arm. He called him the weakest arm in the NFL. Not in a bad way. He was trying to make a point talking about Tua, but he said Tua is getting the ball to these guys. Tua is taking advantage of having these weapons, and he's doing it well. And he had the best game, in Evan's opinion, of his career, the best game of the season for me, because I think Arizona was a great game. It is great for Miami at this time right now because Miami, we got a lot of fans saying Super Bowl, and I get it. It is so sexy right now. You're excited, and as you should be. To me, this makes, I don't want to say legit contender. There's a lot of teams out here. I'm saying legit playoff contender. This is a playoff win team now. Miami could do it. And because guess what? When Jalen Phillips can't make that break, you got Bradley Chubb coming right here. Or Agba. Once Agba figures it out and gets back to his old role, Agba's coming in. Walk around. Christian Wilkins, he's grabbing on somebody's balls. Something's happening. It's going to be like that. It is? It's going to be very happy.
You know what's amazing, though? The Bradley
Chubb. I got my inner Justin coming out here.
You got him labeled as a ball grabber now, Bobby? Is that what
I want to give I want to give Hank a minute there. I want to give him some time. But one thing that's amazing about our stats when I look at the defense, and this is something that Chubb does really well as well, is our issue this year hasn't been has been the pass because of the less pressure. Our run defense has been 10th in the league, so we were worried about that middle. The guy can grab the middle. So Hank, take your time here. Think about what this guy does for our defense with Zach Sealer up the middle. How it seals so many holes on defense.
Oh my god!
And what our expectations are, because none of us are going to accept what happened against Detroit again. With this now having Chubb there, there's zero excuses now. They used to have some excuses. Ogba was out, Jones is out. We're playing all these under. Now they have no more excuses. Boyer now has a better defense now than what Flores ever had. And let me just make a point. Doesn't Flores? I'm going to just get it. Actually, I'll save my Flores rant for after. Hank, take a few minutes.
Wait a minute. I want to be positive. Don't bring Flores in.
No, in a positive way. We never stop believing. So go for it.
I'll tell you this much. The interchangeability with Chubb and all these other players that we now have, it's unbelievable.
It's
I'm
interchangeable.
just mind blown that we got them still. I'm telling you, I'm ready to, jump off the balcony into the damn swimming pool.
I know.
You know what I mean? I just, the interchangeability alone, the way that they help the defensive backs and safeties, they are going to be after the quarterback in 2.5 minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum almost every down. 2.5. Boom. Every time on a quarterback, they get tired of that real quick.
Real fast.
Real quick. And they start to make a lot of mistakes, which our secondary will take advantage of with Holland and X back there. Okay? And you mentioned a few other names, but those are the two main ones that might benefit from this, and especially the pressure. If we continue to pressure them, I mean, like Jay was saying, you have to pressure the Dolphins. You got to pressure the Dolphins. They're not pressuring the Dolphins. But JP was going off. He knew what he was talking about, coming around and bringing it all in. So I go with everything that the man says. I totally agree. It's going to help everything. It really is. And Miami was questionable and has been questionable on bringing it all together. That's still a question mark, fellas. They haven't put a complete game together yet. Just imagine when they do.
Oh my God.
They're going to just blow up, fellas.
Oh, yeah.
They are going to blow up on
50,
somebody.
56.
I don't know
How about
who,
stop deferring?
but I feel bad for them.
Maybe they'll stop deferring the ball. Maybe they'll take the ball.
Exactly. You know what's crazy about this? I know we ain't really talked about this much, but we've talked about Ingram and Chubb and Jalen Phillips and Wilkins and Davis and Ogba, but you know what? This opens it up for Andrew Van Ginkel too. Van Ginkel is just another part of this mix that has a high pressure rate, who also can get sacks, and he plays the run well. I think this opens it up for everybody, you guys. I'm going to be quite honest. Now we can get back to doing what we do best, which is cover man press. I want to play cover press. That's what I want to play. If you can get Byron Jones back, which watch, he's going to get healthy now. Watch. Then you're gonna bring this. You're gonna bring this dude back, and then we can start doing what we normally do. Oh, another point I wanted to make out too, real fast. I've noticed this from watching a lot of tape, and I already know this about Noah Igbenogany, is he in the zone coverages? He's lost. Okay, that's not his forte. You need him to play up in somebody's face and play press. You want him in somebody's grill. He can do that. But you do not want him playing any kind of zone. So just keep him away from playing zone. Hell, we'll probably be okay with the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can get back to doing what we normally want to do, which is go get you with 4. Go ahead and try to throw it underneath. Maybe Jerome will have his head on right and catch one. Or someone can lurk.
No orange sleeves.
Yeah, no orange sleeves, please. And another thing you can think about this, and you can take it for a grain of salt because he is a rookie, but if you wanted to spice up the defense even more, not that it needs it with all that pass rush we have now with Ingram and Jalen Phillips and Chubb and Ogba and Andrew Van Ginkel and Wilkins and Davis and Zach Sealer, my dog. Then you think about this, though, honestly, if you want to spice it up, on third down packages, you could bring in Channing Tindall and be like, go blitz right up the A-gap. Dude, this opens it up even more. Now you got more pass rush out on the field. More.
I was going to make an interesting point that maybe you guys can react to it. Our defense on Sunday got penalty after penalty after penalty because they were so antsy to get to the quarterback. They don't have to do that anymore.
No.
I swear to God, if I see Christian Wilkins go take one offside, I go, Chubb better whack him over the head.
I thought it was some sort of strategy that they had going to get off the ball faster or something. But dude, they were over in the neutral zone 3-4 times. I was like, I don't understand why they keep doing this.
Because we're watching the bandwagon, because we're on the bandwagon, all of us now. Even Bobby, I think, is jumping on the bandwagon a little bit. Look at that. Look how serious. Oh, you're not even smiling tonight, my man. You look
so
tired.
serious all the time.
Smile, man. What is this?
First
For a
of
second,
all,
I thought you were Brett
your
Lagasse.
perceived notion of a bandwagon. I'm always on the Dolphins bandwagon. I bleed aqua and orange just because I'm not on your
Yeah, baby.
deer blinder, horse blinders
It's you, me.
bandwagon.
Fish Tank's on it. Steve is on it. Justin's on it. Hey, I have a tweet that I will never let Brett Lagasse ever delete. He's all in, okay?
He's all
He can
in
never
now.
delete that tweet because I have a picture. I'm framing it on my wall. Trust me, I'll be trolling that man on Thursday when he's talking about the team. I swear to God.
Great time to be a Dolphins
I
fan,
want to give you an interesting story. I was talking to Bobby about this. Last night, I took my kids out for Halloween, and you can guess what I was dressed up as. And my kids were in full-blown – no, I wasn't Tua. My kid was full-blown Tua with the stripes. And the other one was Waddle. He was waddling all over the place. He was fantastic. But the number of people in the most random parts of town that we were in who knew about the Dolphins, who were talking about the Dolphins, how they know about the Dolphins, how well they're doing, and it's amazing. And it's just amazing. And I want Hank to talk about this. What do you think it is? Why do you think now? And because teams win all the time, why do you think people now are clamoring? Because Dolphin fans, because even Bobby said there's people in Tennessee, there's tons of people in Montreal. I'm sure there's people in Colorado. You're in Miami. I don't know how it was in Oregon. But why do you think now of all times? Because Dolphins have won, like as Bobby said, we've won the offseason. Why do you think now, even though we're 5-3, we're not 8-0? Why do you think people now are so gung ho about the Dolphins? Why are they? Even though it was before, even last night before we made these trades.
Because everything we've been saying is starting to happen. You know, 2 years ago, I told Bobby it's going to take 3 to 4 years till this team is fully ready anyway. And we're in that third year, and it's starting to happen. They're actually going out. Grier is going out and getting what he needs to try to win. There's no more of this grace period. There's no more, pulling the covers in late night for a Brady move or something like that by the owner. You know what I mean? That's all gone. The hocus pocus is over. Now they're investing. They haven't invested in this team like this in a long, long time. And now that it's happened, things are starting to change, Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby.
Oh my God, Bobby, would you like to go? You can put yourself on mute. Take off the camera if you're too distracted, man.
I'm reacting to you guys. I just mute myself because remember I was supposed to be producing, so I got kids and.
I invited you 3 hours ago. And by the way, I want to correct something from Dolphin Thirsty. I want to correct him. Before he never threw my Hebrew hammer. He didn't criticize me for not being an all Tua because no one can record the tape and ever say I've never said one bad thing ever about Tua.
That's not. Yeah, that's true. I will.
McDaniel. I was hard on McDaniel. McDaniel now has Jeff Wilson Jr. He has 2 running backs in his scheme. And the one thing I want to tell you, the running game hasn't been great. The problem, I think I want to make an important point, the running game in the last few games has not had the opportunity to be great because we're coming from goddamn behind.
Right.
The issue is that when Mostert has daylight, if you ever notice, he has daylight and then he gets mad because he gets tripped up. Overall, at 5 yards a carry, there's zero reason, especially in Chicago where it's going to be cold, and the way that they're playing, the defense is not great. They should be running the ball to get a feel for the game. Wouldn't be surprised if they have a huge running game because now they're trying to play in cold weather. It's November. In the games where they're not playing in the dome or they're not playing out on the West Coast, utilize your run game as much as possible and use the same concept you were using with the 49ers.
Did you watch that Browns Bengals game?
Oh, my God. You see last night?
Did you see how they were using like 6 linemen, 7 linemen? In fact, I've seen them once even use 8 linemen on one play. That's a true jumbo set. Okay?
Did you see Myles Garrett? That's Bradley Chubb. And also, can I make you something? I'm going to say this again. If we look back on it now, with the way we played against the Lions, the way we played against the Ravens, don't the 3 of us, because we know the guy in the bottom who doesn't want to be on the show tonight.
I'm on the show. Stop making comments.
He's right there.
I got my kids screaming in the background, so I'm muted. I hear you.
Justin and Hank. I made a comment after the Cincinnati game. Justin, you were there. I said that if Tua was still in the game, we would still have won. It was only in the second quarter that it happened. Can we look back now with the way that they've been playing and the way that Cincinnati, look at the way they're playing, they're not even a playoff team. They lost to Jacoby Brissett 32-13. Why? Because he had weapons. Let me ask you, we would be, I swear, if Tua never got injured, this is a 7-1 football team, minimum. I'm telling you.
Hey, even with Tua's noodle arm, Ryan, he's still getting them the ball, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's true.
Record-setting, dynamic duo. He throws the ball and continues to make touchdowns.
Can I just say, because I am, first off, just because I have myself on mute and I'm looking around and I'm doing the whole producer thing and all this, I'm still listening and tuned in as I always am. But first off, in regards to what you're saying, 7-1, look, woulda, shoulda, coulda, okay? The team has not been playing. The team, until up to, recently, Tua comes back, this team's starting to get gelled in. They haven't been playing well. They haven't played complete games. So to pretend, we would have won against Cincinnati if Tua would say, stop, woulda, shoulda, coulda, didn't happen, doesn't matter. Team is 5-3. Team is 5-3. And I will say though, because I was reacting to Fish Tank earlier about pulling the covers and Tom Brady and all this whatnot. Our owner is still Stephen Ross. Our GM is still Chris Grier. I wouldn't put it past them. They're talking to somebody always in the background.
It was never Chris Grier. It was never Chris Grier talking to Tom Brady.
It was always Chris Grier.
It was never Chris Grier.
Chris Grier and all. He works for Chris. He works for Ross.
If you guys remember, this is kind of eerie, but like right before the trade happened, literally was like 2 hours to go, and I was like, oh man, I hope something's gonna happen. And I made a post like, oh man, it's gonna happen just like the Tyreek trade, and I almost wrecked my car. Watch at the last second, it's gonna come in, and bam, it did, one right after the other. I was so stoked after this trade, honestly, because I think this does set us up to make a long playoff push. As long as we keep everybody healthy and keep doing what we're doing. As much as anybody wants to say, hey, the running game's crap, the offensive line's crap, we're garbage, you need to go look again. Because honestly, the offensive line is starting to gel, it's starting to come together. I love you, Spliff, to death, man. You're my dog. But hearing someone saying, hey, it's going to come together because Liam got hurt, I don't like hearing that crap. You're my dog, Spliff. I love you to death. I know you want nothing more than good things for the team, but we got to be more stand-up about it. We want to have nice things around here. We could use more linemen right now. Let's be quite honest. I don't like seeing Liam getting hurt. I know he was costing us a little bit of penalties, stuff like that here and there. He's young, you guys. We got to give these kids, they're kids, time to develop. And if you do, I think we risked a lot by getting Liam Eichenberg, you guys. We traded up for him, but I think it could pay off. I really do. I think if they left him in there, let him go what it's going. Now it doesn't matter. He's on IR. So they're going to have to find a different option.
Jackson's back.
Yeah, but they're not going to rush Jackson back in. And he already said he's not
but the advantage is that Jackson's coming back.
No.
Shell is playing well. Jones showed in a half that he was playing well.
Who's going to start over there is Jones. But, I mean, honestly, man, now it's the same problem they had before.
Can Shell play guard? Can Brandon Shell play guard?
Let's hope so, right? No,
because if Jackson comes back and goes back to right tackle, can we shift Shell, who's been great, to left guard?
Yes.
Can I just state this is the point on the team too. It's very exciting right now. We got an all-pro outside linebacker and Bradley Chubb to help the defense. We got Jeff Wilson to help complement Raheem Mostert that Chase Edmonds could not do. It's very nice. The offense and the potential of this team, this offense right now, especially, it's nice. It's sexy. But here is the asterisk. Here is the one that could tear all down. Offensive line. Yeah, offensive line.
Okay.
We're talking about it.
Yeah,
it's obvious.
We're talking
about
it.
That could tear it all down. Because guess what? We said it. Oh, Armstead goes down. No, Tua gets hurt. And then guess what? We're right back to it. Hey, reality. You just said I'm reality.
No, shoddy offense. We won 9 games last year. We won 9 games last year with the worst offensive line in NFL history. Okay? We somehow won 9 games. Why? Because we have a quarterback.
We had a disciplined team.
Who gets rid of the football.
We have an undisciplined one now.
Who gets rid of the football like that.
No.
Yes.
Stop it.
Okay.
Do not say the games are stopping.
We have Teron Armstead. Whoa. We have Teron Armstead.
Who has a quick release.
I'm going to go there. We have Teron Armstead. Welcome to the bandwagon.
You're talking about last year. You were just talking about last year.
No, I'm not.
We won 9 games because of the quarterback last year.
Hold on. Stop. Let me be the the intermediate between the
Defense.
two.
We
The
won 9 games
mediator?
because of
Like,
defense.
I agree with you, Bobby. We won because of defense. I agree. I think there's holes on this
Say
team. that still
that
need-
again. Oh,
There are holes on this team that still need to be addressed. We're not blind. yet.
Definitely.
I'm blind. No, that's not us, bro. Okay, I know that the left guard play hasn't been good, and I want to give Jones a shot. He's going to get a shot. He looked good in the 15 snaps that he came in for Eichenberg. That's a very small sample size. Now, Shell, I'll be honest with you, dude. Yes, he can play left guard. And like I said, when we got Shell, I was in the spaces with some people. I was like, Shell will take over at right tackle.
You don't think
him time
Jackson
to get
comes off of
acclimated.
Jackson now is officially back on the team. You don't think he fits into left guard or right tackle automatically? You think they're going to hold off
No.
for a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I do not think they're going to rush him back at all. In fact, they don't have to. There's no reason to, just like you just said. You just said it. He's like, what about when someone gets hurt and automatically we go right back to where we were? Well, that's their contingency plan is they have him. Honestly, I know it's like something they're like, well, someone's like, he's a piece of crap, man. We got Austin Jackson to lean on. No, bro. Right now, he can actually help us because you need anybody who's serviceable or halfway even knows the offense to come in there and help you out. Now, Robert Jones doesn't have a lot of experience. He has the snaps he took last week, plus the game he started versus the Patriots, and that's it besides the preseason. The guy is a really good-looking prospect, though, you guys. When he hits people, they go down. Is he the best of movement? No. He looks a little clunky to me, and he's like a little kind of lurks a little bit, a little clunky to me. But you know what? That doesn't mean he can't play the position. Now, I'll be honest with you. They got one roster spot open right now. One. Is that for Byron Jones? Who's it for? Because I'm telling you right now, you could use that spot and you can make a poach to get someone in there to get you through these last couple games, maybe until Eichenberg gets healthy. No one's going to like who I'm going to say it is because the guy who's with experience and a guy who's been here before. He was here in the preseason. He knows the system, and that his name is Solomon Kindly. You go poach Solomon Kindly right now off the Giants practice squad. You got somebody who knows the system. He's stout in pass protection. I really like his pass protection snaps. He looks good in pass pro. The reason why I think the Dolphins went off of him was not because of his pass protection, but was because of his range of motion. His change of direction wasn't the best for what they fit and what they want to do. Austin Jackson would be great right there at left guard because of his movement and his athleticism, because he can get to the next level and make those second-level blocks. I mean, that's what they're looking for. And you know what? Liam Eichenberg was coming on. I'm really sad to see him get hurt. Like, this is the only hole right now I believe we have on the team because the way Shell is playing. So,
Okay.
I mean, you can hide one hole from
Dad,
scheme.
Pops,
from
help me
scheme.
out here.
You know, moving,
All right.
motion.
Be positive. Get rid. This founder of ours, I swear to God, always has to be realistic. Can you give me some positivity on what you see on the offensive line? Because for me, the offensive line, Armstead is healthy. Armstead is healthy. His toes not bothering him anymore because the guy has been amazing.
Oh,
Williams
man,
is now is a reliable center. Hunt is playing phenomenally. So now you have Jones and Shell's done the job. So for me, Tua's had time to throw the ball. He only got sacked once or twice. He's had time to throw it. He's getting rid of it fast because his receivers are getting to the spaces in time.
Yep.
Talk to me about why you're so positive about the offense and you don't have any concerns right now on the offensive line and how you feel they can get through the rest of the season with what they currently have compared to last year. Because last year it was a shell of what we have this year.
No pun intended.
Exactly.
Wow.
Come on, you could do it. This is not Fins talk today.
I
The
know.
hell does that mean?
Positivity, not realism. Positivity.
I'm
Highest
giving
rated
you
show on the network.
positivity.
I know.
I'm giving you positivity.
Oldest
but I'm
show
telling
on the
you
network.
Same thing that I tell Bobby. I am realistic. I'm just different realistic than he is. That's all. He's negative realistic. I'm positive
kiss
realistic.
I like it.
So
Mhm.
anyway,
Mhm.
now that we got to beat on the producer a little bit, my point is, no, you're right. You're right. There is improvement across the line. You are correct. There is, because anything was improvement from last year. We all know that.
Damn right.
We all know that. And yeah, some of the players are starting to step up. Eichenberg, Liam is no loss, folks. I can tell you that. He's no loss. It was like putting like I told Bobby, you might as well put a hazard cone there instead.
You're going to miss him. Watch, Hank. You're going to miss him, man.
I ain't going to miss him at all.
Don't let it be one cause of us at one sack blown by Jones, and we'll be like, damn.
I would say you probably got to know you're not going to notice any damn change. But go ahead.
No, you will. You will.
No,
I guarantee
you won't notice a thing.
I won't.
Yes,
I doubt it.
You will.
I seriously
different.
doubt it.
Did you notice Brandon Jones being out this last weekend and the defense and the dynamics of the defense?
How do you compare Brandon Jones
because
with
it's a starter.
Liam?
Because it's a starter. It's a starter on your defense.
No, because you have nothing else.
Liam Eichenberg had something on McDaniel. Liam Eichenberg had something on McDaniel.
Everybody had something on somebody. Stop. Stop. Everybody has something on something.
So
Listen, Eichenberg was trying because you got nothing else. You got nothing else.
Like I was saying, the offensive line is better.
Go ahead, Fishnick. I'm sorry.
Admit, you are right. It's better. But now, is it where it needs to be? No, it's not.
Chris has it.
We need to put a little more effort into it. Exactly. Less penalties.
But that's coaching. I mean, that's coaching.
We've been getting eaten up by penalties, stupid stuff. And,
I have a great question for you.
Tua is now set up different than he was. He's being taught by McDaniel, set, drop back, set, throw. Set, drop back, step, throw. That's what he's being taught. And he's taking his reads as he's on his way back. He's not wasting time. You watch him, his head's moving. As soon as the ball's hiked, he's moving his head back and forth, looking at what's going on. He's quick to read things. It's amazing.
He's fast, bro. That was one of the things I liked about him coming out.
And that's what he's trying to do. Each down, he's trying to just set back and throw. As soon as he gets on that back foot, he wants that timing coming out.
You ever watch his
eyes?
That's
what they're doing. They're doing all timing because of the offense isn't that good because they don't hold up as well as they should. But they might get even better now that he's out of the line, in my opinion.
They might.
Bobby and Justin, why do you think? Because, for example, maybe it was cap reasons. Maybe there is a reason. Maybe Jones is coming back sooner than we think now because we haven't been able to trust what they've told us all year. But one of the biggest weaknesses, and I think that's why Xavier Howard has not had an interception this year, is the fact that he hasn't had Jones on the other side so he can focus on being a ball hawk. Is why didn't we address the secondary? Do you think they tried to kill? They think by addressing the getting an edge rusher that solves the secondary issue. Why do you think they didn't go after the secondary? Why do you still think that what they currently have is good enough, or do you think that they're still convinced that Jones is going to come back sooner rather than later, and they're just buying their time?
I think they're just buying time for Jones to come back. And if he's not going to come back and he's going to spurn the team, then they have some sort of ulterior motive.
What's the rule? What's the rule, though?
Honestly, with that one, I know Jackson had to be back today.
He's on the pup list still, eh?
Yeah, but with that one, I think he could come back at any given time during the season. I don't think there's any rule on it. In fact, the guy to ask would be Bill from Boynton, BLT. He's got all the rules on that, so he'll know. But I think that's the rule, though. I think he can come back at any point in time. I do think that the Dolphins in general...
He refuses to admit who that is. You actually know who that is, though?
In general, that they are actually kind of betting on the pass rush to help the back end of the defense, though. I'm not going to lie or beat around the bush and tell you that wasn't their plan. No, that is the plan. That's why they signed him. I don't think that they seen anything out there maybe in the deep back that maybe they didn't want. I mean, think about it. 2-3 weeks ago, everybody's like, let's trade for William Jackson, and now he's going to be released, or he was traded for like a low-round pick to the Steelers.
On the Steelers now. He's on the Steelers.
But then Sidney Jones, same thing. Everybody's like, let's make trade for Sidney Jones, and now he's going to be released. I mean, I'm just talking about these guys are going to end up getting released. So maybe they see something coming down the pipeline or know about something down the pipeline that we don't. The most obvious thing for me, like I already said, if you're going to go out there and get someone who knows the system, would be to bring Kindly back. And before they brought back Jamal Perry, I was talking about Hayes, but he got activated to the Panthers' actual active roster. But, I mean, there are other guys floating around out there that have been on our team that are on practice squads that could help us in the defensive backfield. I mean, you can't trade no one now, so you can't bring Bobby McCain back, so that's out. But you could also go back and poach Quincy Wilson, who was with the team, off of the Steelers practice squad. That's a defensive back as well. He has a little bit of cornerback experience, maybe can play some safety for you.
Bobby, why do you think they didn't go after anyone in the secondary?
Well, I mean,
that was
I
our
think,
biggest need.
Yeah, that's very well. Obviously, probably because there's no one else they can get. Same thing as offensive line. You know, it's just waiting to see what's out there. You know, obviously they trust what they have. First off, again, the secondary, even though that's been a need, have been playing okay. Yeah, they've been okay. You know, these young players. When Needham went down, you thought like, holy crap, man! Now it's really going to be bad. And then Igbo, you know, starts playing well enough, and he makes a play. And so, you know, I think I wouldn't be surprised if they do eventually grab somebody off free agency to help the secondary if Byron Jones does not come back. We don't know what that situation is. Offensive line, you know, again, I just don't think there was anybody there that they could do. I think then again, I think they go the Justin route, which is just poach somebody, maybe go after Solomon Kinley, or just trust what they have. I mean, really, you can't do much until maybe the offseason. Maybe you go maybe that's your big free agent signing in the offseason is an offensive lineman to pair up with Terron Armstead and do something from there. That I will say that again, just on the turn that positive here in regards of the signing with Bradley Chubb, because we were talking about, you said the 9 wins last year, okay, and we could debate how it went down, but really the defense really helped in that big win streak that we went on. Because I remember I'm sitting there with Hank, we were going through 7 games, and I told Hank we need to get rid of Grier, we need to get rid of Flores. This was a playoff team, which we talked about. We said it was a playoff team, and they weren't. Then they went on the big win streak, and I still was on that train because the playoffs was really out of the question. It was the defense that really helped Miami, which almost was an elite type defense the way they were playing in that second half of the season last year. Now look where they're going. They're kind of trending back up in that direction again, and then they make a move for a player like Bradley Chubb. So imagine if you have an offense, when you have an offense that's starting to transcend because you got an elite player like Tyreek Hill who's playing to the status for which he is elite. Okay, think about how many times we go, oh my God, which we're doing right now with Bradley Chubb.
He's up 200 yards.
Listen,
up 200 yards.
He is. But listen, how many times as Dolphin fans or any time as sports fan, you get a player and you go, oh, we got this elite guy, which we're doing right now with Bradley Chubb because he has that type of talent. And it doesn't pan out that way. It has panned out that way with Tyreek Hill. This guy, we were talking about team MVP. Guys, this guy should be considered one of the candidates for league MVP. What he has done for this offense, a lot, and I'm not, again, I don't want it to be like it's tagged to it, but I just want to say this. He already says Tua. Guys, Tyreek Hill is such what he has done for this football team, what he has done for this offense, for Jalen Waddle, for Tua, for Coach McDaniel, what he's done for this football team that believes they could make a run. Whether we as fans say, okay, they could actually make a run at Super Bowl, it's going to be a playoff team. They believe the reason why they made this move was not one player, maybe Tyreek. That's the only player I would say. It's they believe in this football team. Okay? I want to say this very quick. People, we talk about how many draft picks they've traded. And, oh, my goodness, last year they didn't have any real draft picks. They still have their second-round pick. They still have two third-round picks. They got a 6th and a 7th round pick. They still can make some noise in the offseason with these draft picks, whether it's via a trade and moving some more pieces around or drafting players. Because remember, let's say Chris Grier, which more than likely he will, right? If the Dolphins make the playoffs, he remains the GM. We can always go back and forth about first-round picks and how he should have went this way or that way or this way. What you can't argue is, and maybe that's more the scout department, Justin, is the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th round is really their bread and butter. The Dolphins have hit on some picks there. And so when I look at these draft picks and I look at this football team, and I love draft, as Evan will know because he saw me when I was doing overtime last year. You look at these picks, the 2nd, 3rd, 6th, 7. That's exciting for me, especially with this type of football club, because there is a lot of opportunities. And I don't want to jump ahead, just like I don't like looking at the past too much. I like talking about right now. But there's a lot of opportunities with this football team for fans to be excited about right now. If you're a Dolphins fan, it's time to get really excited. No matter who you believe in and who you don't, it's time.
Who are they playing against? For crying out loud, the team that has the best records, 4-4. It's not like we're playing all these beasts out there.
And that's why
Miami has is the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, that's the biggest team that they have in their way.
And they've beaten them already. Without
Thank you,
these
Chris.
players.
About time, Chris.
Without these players. Without these players. They've beaten them without. By the way, you're saying we don't have a first round pick? Someone made an interesting point earlier that I was reading something. There's no first rounder I would take next year over Bradley Chubb. I'll take Bradley Chubb as my first rounder.
I'll take Bradley
Absolutely.
Chubb all day.
Tyreek Hill, all those picks.
All day.
That's why you
Totally
make those
worth
moves
it.
because
But I'll give you the great stuff. Yeah, look at the Rams. You said you'd give up a Super Bowl over consistency. They gave up all those picks to get Matthew Stafford at the right moment at the right time. They're awful this year, but you want to know what? He won them a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they won a Super Bowl.
And my point, what do we argue about? What do we debate sometimes? Because I would rather have, if you told me, Bobby, you could win the Super Bowl this year, but 5 years of, being in the middle of it. And,
No.
I would rather, I want a Super Bowl.
With
I want a
Tyreek
Super
Hill,
Bowl.
we're not going to be bad. With Tyreek Hill, we're never.
No, you're not going to be bad. But look at the Rams. I mean, of course, Matt Stafford goes down. They're having an off year right now, but they've won the Super Bowl. I want a Super Bowl in Miami, and that's what Tyreek Hill provides, especially now the way the Dolphins are going in.
I have a very easy question for all three of you.
consistent winning of a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
everybody
what
wants a
I
consistent
want.
winning of a Super Bowl, but
Oh,
just get
look at-
one.
I
No,
want
you know what?
Just get one.
Start with one.
I
Okay,
want
come on.
the
Dan Marino.
to at least be at the level. To at least be at the level where we're reaching
My
for
daughter
the
doesn't
Super
agree,
Bowl every
apparently.
year, not hoping we get in the frickin' playoffs.
Right.
I have a
The
great
way to
question.
do that is you got to have consistency among your coaching staff too.
What's that key word we keep hearing? Can I just say
consistency?
who talked about consistency at the start of the year?
Bobby?
Oh!
Well,
You're
I'll
consistently
be honest right
you're
now.
consistently sort of positive.
You got to have the same offensive coordinator for more than one season. If you want to see, like Hank was saying, you want to win consistently, you want to be in the playoffs consistently, you want to win in the playoffs consistently, then you need to keep this staff together. The offensive coordinator, Frank Smith, Mike McDaniels, Josh Boyer. You need to keep everybody the way we have it right now.
But I have a great question for all of you.
I think
Yes, sir.
the staff we have is
You'll like
great.
this
I
question.
think the coaching staff's great. I seen somebody post something about Marvin Allen when we did bring him in, and he taught Chris Grier kind of like how to build the team the right way. I've loved Marvin Allen since he was part of the Kansas City Chiefs and found Patrick Mahomes. So having him around in the coaching staff and, part of that front office is also very huge for us.
Yeah.
Bringing this running game is going to be big for
Can
us.
I just say something very quick? Just want to say something since I know we're all into it and we haven't said it yet. Tell everybody that you're watching the Fins Bandwagon, hosted by Evan Posner and Fish Tank Hank. We are gracious to be guests. We're talking about the big blockbuster trade. The Miami Dolphins acquire Denver Broncos linebacker Bradley Chubb. They bring in Jeff Wilson, send out Chase Edmonds. It's an exciting time. We appreciate you watching. Smash that like and subscribe button. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers and more. So thank you all, whether you're watching on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. Go ahead, Evan. I'm
I'm going to give you the floor
Don't
first.
you have
Evan.
a giveaway at 500?
Thank you, sir. Look, that's my boy right there. Hey, if you go past 500 subscribers, that's why you should tell your friend.
You're getting a Bradley Chubb jersey.
Yeah.
Giving me a Chubb.
Calm down there, Hank. I mean, Evan. All right. Yes. If you once we get past 500 subscribers, sorry, Hank. Once we get past 500 subscribers, guys, we are giving away on behalf and with the graciousness of JPF Scout, which if you haven't yet, go hit him up on Twitter. He'll hook you up. But you're gonna either get we're gonna pick randomly after 500 subscribers, Javon Holland or Jalen Waddle.
Hey, what's up, Orlando?
Do you know this?
So
You know Orlando from Abu Dhabi? Your buddy of yours?
What's up, Orlando?
He
like
tunes
you
in.
coming in from Dubai.
So
He
great.
tunes in to Fins Talk, man.
What is that? We're a worldwide company, all the way to Canada,
Wait,
all the way to
where's
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
But let
So
me
I have a
just
great
say, I want to
question.
say this very quick. And Evan, I'm sorry, but I just want to say with Justin's store. Hey guys, listen, you like jerseys? Justin, stand up for just a second, man. Show off that jersey right there, brother. Okay, this one. Is that Phillips? Is that Phillips?
Yep. It's
Okay.
Jalen.
Old school Jalen Phillips, man.
Throwback.
If you have any idea about a type of jersey you'd like, whether it's NFL, NBA, hockey, baseball, whatever, but especially Dolphins, because we're Dolphin fans here. You're thinking, man, I would really love to have the Dan Marino jersey, but with the new style and all that. Hit up JPF Scout on Twitter. He will hook you up. I'm telling you, and I mean that. I won't go into details here. He will on the DMs.
Yeah,
so
the
hit him up.
host, our host has an 88 jersey that says Dolphins negative on the other side of it. I'm just kidding.
Son of a bitch.
Oh my goodness,
That's
son.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right,
Can't
go
reach
ahead,
me up in
Evan.
Canada.
Your question. We're running on an hour.
Positive.
I know we're running an hour. I have a great question for you. To steal a line from Studs and Duds, I want to. This is an interesting question. Tell me, coach or player, doesn't matter who. Really think about this. Which person has the most pressure on them from now until the end of the season as a result of these trades, and which person is going to benefit and should be the most excited for these trades today? You can split the trades up and talk about Wilson and talk about Chubb, or you can talk about them in a group. Which player or coach has the most pressure on them because of these trades? Which player or coach is the most excited because of these trades? Hank, you go first. Or you want to go, Justin, you want to go first? Let Hank go first.
Go ahead, Hank.
It's a birthday boy.
Birthday boy.
Well, I think it's obvious that Chubb's going to be under the most pressure to perform. I mean, he's going to be looking to get another contract from Miami down the road, too. And they discussed that prior to him coming over, his extension and things like that, from what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to be under the most pressure, but McDaniel's got to be peeing in his pants right about now. I mean, come on. And Boyer just got his bacon saved with getting Chubb. Please. You get Chubb, he's going to fix all kinds of problems for Boyer. So Boyer's got to be ecstatic. You know what I mean? That's positive all the way. You know what I mean? I mean, you don't get any more positive than that. Is that what you were asking me, son?
Yeah, Justin. Yeah, that's a great answer. I love it.
That was going to be my guy. I was going to go the most pressure on the coaching staff after these trade acquisitions would be. I mean, you said he's bacon saved, but it's Josh Boyer, and the reason why is because he has to figure out how to get the most out of his pass rusher that he just acquired, which is Bradley Chubb. I actually do agree with you, though. He's kind of getting bailed out a little bit because Chubb is going to solve a lot of the problems that we've been having down there with getting, like, when we see Stonewall, like your pass rush is getting stonewalled by the Lions, stonewalled, you get one through, stonewalled. I mean, that's not good. Chubb should be getting some of these pressures, so I think Josh Boyer is going to be really excited on what he can do with Bradley Chubb as well. So he'll be the most excited coordinator that he's going to, he's going to be fired up, dude. This is going to be fun.
Who has the most pressure? But for you, is there that you've talked about coaches? Give me a player outside of Bradley Chubb. Who is the most excited? Because you know the players better than anybody. Who's going to benefit most, and who's going to be?
Oh, who's going to benefit most from Bradley Chubb being here?
Yeah.
Whoa.
This guy, right?
Yeah.
Jalen Phillips is going to
whoever's
be the
on the other side.
That's right. Is going to be the beneficiary.
Whoever's on the other side.
So is he taking him out? Is he taking him out for dinner as soon as he lands in Miami? Is he picking him up to the airport?
I mean, you know what? It's crazy. Yeah, he's going to be taking him out to dinner quite a bit, and the reason why is because I see Jalen Phillips going on some crazy streaks where he's getting like 2, 3. Hell, he might even get 4 sacks a game some of these times. I'm talking like they're going to start happening though. Hank, watch. We're gonna have these shows and they're gonna start happening. He's gonna start getting like 2. It'll probably start with like 1, 2, 3. Maybe he'll get another 2, 4. Watch. I bet you he stacks up like 15 sacks for the rest of the season.
Oh, he'll be stacking them bricks, right?
Watch.
Well, how many more bricks are you stacking now?
Stacking those bricks,
oh, that's crazy. That's fair. That's funny you're talking about that because we were at 41 bricks, but this actually takes us up to 43. That's 43 bricks to added to the roster right there because the way Chase Edmonds was playing, that's not a brick in my opinion because he wasn't playing that good. So that takes that away.
Right.
But we're at 43 bricks, man. 43 bricks, you guys. We're working with some pretty good talent on the team right now. And even on the back end of the roster, it's actually talented. Anybody who says, oh, well, Jamal Perry, he sucks. He's won 2 Super Bowls, you guys. And he's stashed away on our practice squad. Stashed. I'm just saying. You got some stuff sitting there that hasn't even been used yet. You got shiny weapons like I know we all talked about Tanner Connor in the beginning of the season, but that's a weapon that hasn't even been used yet. Like the offense is still being – I bet you they're not even 100% through with the install and we're in week 8. I bet you they're just now getting around to 95, 97, the back end of it. Like honestly, man, like hearing what happened last week with Sanders coming on and they were using Izukama. I was like, damn, that kind of brought me down just a little bit because I want Izukama to be like that trigger man, like a Deebo Samuel. Like you could bring him in the backfield, flex him out, use him in motion, give him a jet sweep, use him in a double reverse with Tyreek. Like I want to do some crazy stuff, man.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because you could do it with the kind of players that we have. Like this offense, I've never seen this kind of offense in Miami ever. And my years of fandom, so I'm like, I'm so excited right now.
I've never seen Bobby do that. Can Bobby do that? I'd love to see it.
I'm so excited.
Bobby,
this is like having a complete team.
Oh yeah.
Whereas Marino was a complete player that elevated the team. I think this team is more even keel across its talent base.
Howard's no longer the best player on the team.
Across the board.
By the end of the season, Howard will maybe be the fifth best player on this team. He's no longer the top player on this team. You ever notice we don't talk about Xavier Howard anymore. We talk about Waddle, we talk about Hill, we talk about Tua, we talk about Armstead.
Who's the best player on the team right now?
Right now?
Yep.
Tyreek Hill, like country mile.
Hands down.
Hands down.
Country mile.
Who's next, though?
After that,
I just got a new Hill jersey.
Here
What
tomorrow.
my birthday?
Huh? What?
Yeah.
Second best player on the team talent-wise, Teron Armstead, because look what the offensive line is doing.
Me and you were on the same page because honestly, that's my two right there: Hill and then Armstead.
And then right after that, it's now our third best player on the team. Just the third most talented player on the team right now, overall for what he's performed, is the guy we just got today.
Who? Chubb.
Chubb is because now we have elite Pro Bowlers and all pros on the secondary, on the
26-year-old.
Yep.
Yeah. Exactly.
He's very talented.
I'll put it this way. Let's all hope and dream what Steve is saying, and we're going to let Bobby finish it off because we're heading into the hour, and I'm sure it's past this dinner time because he always has to have dinner after these shows.
That's true. It's right there. It's right here. I smell it.
Tua is going to be a Pro Bowler this year, but he won't be able to play in the Pro Bowl. Let's just put it in the flag football game that Peyton Manning coming out of.
Let me add one more thing before we get off the air.
No, we need Bobby to give us studs and duds. Pressure
one more thing, too, before we leave.
One more thing.
Bobby's ending the show with his studs and duds.
One thing.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jay.
All right, my one thing would be, I know we all worried about that guard position. You want to get that poach spot and fill it with a guy with a lot of talent. He could literally play fullback for you or guard or maybe even anywhere on the line. Jason Poe off the practice squad of the 49ers, former Mercer player. I'm telling you right now, this guy would fit in real nice down low.
But then Alec Ingold, the dark horse of the season.
No, this dude plays guard. He can play fullback.
Oh, he plays guard too.
Yeah, wow. I'm telling you, dude.
Hank, go for it before we go to Bobby,
dude.
Yo, I just got in my Tyreek Hill jersey like I was telling you. That was for the Miami Dolphins win over the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday Night Football from my neighbor. I just wanted to put that out there.
That's dope.
Oh, there you go.
Nice. Very nice.
Damn, you got you had a jersey out of that. Good for you.
I did.
Mr. 305. Who has the most pressure? Who's most excited? For both players on either side.
Well, after this move now, damn. Okay, so only player and coach, huh?
Well, player, coach. You can name anything you want. Go off the board.
Well, no, I'll stick with coach. Because obviously, I hate to say it though, but McDaniel has the most pressure, right? You're getting a team now with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle on the offensive side of the football with Teron Armstead, right? Those are your three elites. The defense, you got Xavier Howard, Bradley Chubb back there. You made a move. This is a move not to just make a move in the offseason, just a better team. This is in mid-season making a move before the deadline because you believe this team could make it. You believe this team could make a deep run into the playoffs. If you don't, for whatever reason, which as Hank has brought up, 4-4 is the next hardest team to face, Buffalo, whatever. This schedule doesn't look as hard right now because of the way the teams are performing. If for whatever reason, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but for whatever reason you can't make the playoffs, for whatever reason you just miss it, for whatever reason you fall short, or you're one and done. Our owner there, who's been embarrassed a lot this season, it's going to be, there's a lot of pressure there. So, and trust me, there's Just like there's quarterbacks looking at this offense on the other side. I've talked about it before. There's coaches looking at this football team going, yo, their mouth is watering. They're looking at it. So if I have to say it, somebody who's facing the most pressure, and I hate to say it because I like the guy a lot, and I want him to. You got to give him time, coaching, etc. Mike McDaniel, he's facing the most pressure. The ones who are most excited, I got to go Jalen Phillips. That defensive, this gentleman right here said it. Jalen Phillips, man. I mean, he's in his second year. You have Emmanuel Akba, who's kind of, he's slowing it down a little. He's not slowing it down. He's just having a little bit of an off year. We're hoping he picks it up, but he's still a great veteran presence to have with Jalen Phillips. But now you add Bradley Chubb, who's not only a good presence, a young presence too, but still a very good presence, an all-pro presence. He's going to open up so much for that defense. Jalen Phillips is going to eat.
Yep.
We're talking about watering at the mouth. He's going to eat. Those quarterbacks, Justin Fields, who is a very talented, athletic quarterback who does very good, and he's a great young quarterback, he's going to have to use those legs to run away. That athleticism, he's going to have to come into play because Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, Emmanuel Appa, Christian Wilkins, those guys are coming to eat.
They're coming for blood.
There was one player no one's talking about. You know what's excited today? Because he was being interviewed. So ironically, he was getting interviewed in the Wilson side.
Tyreek.
No.
Raheem.
Raheem Mostert played with Jeff Wilson. He right away said when this happened,
love it.
Having that combination, and you have Jimmy G, who is a much better version of Jimmy G, and he had Deebo Samuel versus. This reminds him of San Francisco when they went to the Super Bowl. And to have Jeff Wilson there, who knows this team, he knows that. Look what's legit. Honestly, he knows that if he has to go sit off, who's coming in. It's like it's having his brother. You wonder what? If we couldn't go get Kareem Hunt for Tyreek Hill, we went to get Mostert, Jeff Wilson Jr.
Yeah.
And you wonder what? He fits this offense perfectly. Yep. So how can we not be excited? Like Chicago got rid of Raekwon Davis. They went to go get Chase Claypool instead. They're the most confusing team in the world. I swear to God, Justin Fields is going to basically get a safety running from the 40 all the way to his end zone, Chubb chasing him down with Phillips. It is going to be amazing. And the running game is going to be phenomenal on Saturday. If Wilson plays with Mostert, they are going to crush it.
Let me put one thing on top of what Bobby just said, and it's really important. The Miami Dolphins and the team in general believes in this team so much that they made this deal. And the reason why is because you don't acquire a player like this unless you believe this is the player to take you over the top. This is a player that you get when you're like, we're one player away. You're banging the tip. We're one player away.
We're quarterback away?
Yeah, no. We have our quarterback. This is that player. I'm telling you right now, if you're a Dolphins fan and you don't believe, you should get really hyped up, man. You should start believing because the time is right now. Right now. You're going to start seeing it from this next game. Watch, bro. Watch when we start taking over these games, dude, one by one. Line of scrimmage, start winning by like maybe 14 points for the first one. Then we're going to start blowing some teams up, dude. Watch. Just blowing them up. Line of scrimmage. Jalen's just going to get unleashed. Because you know what?
So Bobby and Hank
unlocks Jalen Phillips.
I know we're heading in. I know we're heading to 20 past 9, and it's all probably past.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Bobby's dinner's getting cold. Hank has to go start his birthday celebration early. Me and Justin could go on for hours. I'm telling you.
Heating up, baby.
Okay, for me, we're not going to have a chance to preview this. You guys will be able to do it on Digging on the Trenches unless I'm invited onto there. But we know it's going to be an easy game. What do we have to look forward to the rest of the week, Bobby, on the Fins Network? Go for it.
Oh, okay. Well, tomorrow we got, of course, NBA talk with Fast Break. We have, if you're a wrestling fan.
The Heat stink, by the way.
You stink. Shut up. Don't get me
Nets,
started.
by the way. The Brooklyn Nets, what a disaster fire, aren't they? Oh, my God.
Oh, dude, you're going to get me going.
For my Nuggets, bro.
Look, let him get his Nuggets out, man.
Go!
My Nuggets, hold on. Oh, okay, hold on. All right, so listen.
No, I didn't say peanuts. I said nuggets.
Oh! Damn, Hank. All right. I'm looking for a new co-host on Fins Talk today. No, I'm just kidding.
You know, I always put mine on the table, and you know what, Bobby? If Miami loses only one more game this season, I'm right with my prediction. I just want to tell you that.
I know you are. I know.
Me and you
and
both.
guess what it looks like Miami might lose?
One more game. Okay. All right. So tomorrow is Fast Break NBA Talk. We got also, if you're a pro wrestling fan, we got No Holds Barred with the three guys there, Alex, Ryan, and Alfred, which is really cool. Thursday night, we got Bottoms Up, Fins Up with Mike the Hebrew Hammer Brown and Lewis Brown. Great dudes.
He's going to blow up the internet. He's going to
blow it up. Then, of course, you got Huddle Up and Wait with Brett Legassi and Dave Steger. Shut up, Evan. And then you got Saturday, the one and only Fins Talk Today with Fish Tank Hank and Bobby Fins Talk. Then afterwards, if you haven't yet, you need to like and subscribe, because then we got Digging in the Trenches at 2 o'clock Eastern with JPF Scout. I'm there. He always has some great guests that he brings in there. Last time we had Dr. Reginald Brown.
Yep.
Then we had Jalen McMillan on the show. Yep. So that's another one to tune in. We got a lot of great – Richmond Webb was on there as well. A lot of great stuff going on in the network, guys. So do me a favor. Smash that like and subscribe button. We appreciate you. And as always, Fins up. Any final words there?
Any final words?
Everybody, thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you guys.